What is going on, guys? So we're actually in the truck driving to Lake City, pretty far, like 2.5 hours from where I live. I'm going to pick up a MT82 transmission with a bad fourth gear. Funny that is what we just broke in Lewis's trans, but I'm headed out there. I got some time to record a video, so I wanted to bring a video for you guys. So basically I'm just going out there to pick up this trans so that I can build it one day for Ashley's car. Originally I had a spare transmission. I actually gave it to Lewis a while ago for his car so he could get the built MT82. But anyways, I'm gonna get this one so we have a spare one to build later on for Ashley's car. But anyways, I want to get to the topic of this video, which is the title. I have got a lot of people kind of asking, you know, why would I trade in an 03 Cobra for a GT500? What about the rods being weak and various different things like that? And obviously you guys saw the video recently with Jacob, who is the new owner of the Cobra. Now there were a lot of comments, you know, that poked fun. There were some that were a little bit mean, but I talked to Jacob. He was cool with it. He knew that, you know, hey, look, he's new with driving the car, so it is what it is. He's gonna learn, hopefully. I gave him a lot of tips and tricks. You know, I told him be careful in the rain because, you know, Toyo Proxy R888s, that car is going to drive very differently in the rain than a Nissan Altima. But I think he's going to be okay. May put a little bit of wear on the clutch, but it is what it is. So the topic of the video, GT500 over a Cobra. So I have seen this time and time again, and actually I have a good video for you guys to watch in Danny Johnson's video. Now Danny Johnson loves Cobras, but I think he did a really good job of this video talking about kind of the production of the Cobra and the GT500 and how they came to be. So I'll have a link right to that right up here. Very good video, very detailed, but I think a lot of people watched that and like they stuck to this one thing that GT500s have like 2 valve rods or something. So I want to talk about that and the whole thing between me getting rid of the Cobra and, you know, kind of getting something different. So as you guys know, I had the Cobra for 3 years, pretty much almost exactly 3 years, and I love the car, absolutely loved it. Was very, very happy with it until I kind of broke that axle.
Drew?
Broken axle.
Oh, you broke the axle.
Guaranteed.
Oh my god.
And then I kind of got bummed out a little bit, and then I wanted to do more with it. I was going to do a Whipple Gen 4 or a VMP Gen 3. I was going to do something more, and then, you know, really I kind of found out that really I'd be pushing maybe a little bit more power than I made 709 wheel, but in order to do more I would have had to do a built motor no matter what, and some headwork and some cams, which gets really expensive. So, and in terms of content production and business wise, for me the Cobra had done a lot for me, but whenever I posted a video, now I want to preface this and say that everything I do to my cars isn't for video views, but I do a lot of this stuff in business sense, in a line with what I'm feeling, what I want to do. But, you know, if I'm out here trying to make content with my car and I'm spending $10,000 and I'm making, I don't know, $100, $200 on a video, $10,000 for a built motor and a Cobra, and making $200 on a build video, that doesn't really make business sense. And that's why I couldn't justify doing a built motor. I think the interest had kind of fallen off on the Cobra, even though some of you guys who comment, which I love everybody who comments. I wish people who watch and don't comment would comment more often. There's a lot of people who comment, they're like, hey, why'd you get rid of the Cobra? We loved it. You know, the comments are like this, because the comment section can be anywhere from 100 comments to maybe 1,000 comments. The views are anywhere from really 20,000 to 100,000. So the comments are the small section. And again, I want to get more to the differences in the cars, but I want to tell you guys the business sense and why I got rid of it, and I don't regret it at all. Now, as you guys know, I have a 2001 Bullet Mustang with a turbo. I think that nailed the head in the coffin, essentially, of getting rid of the Cobra, because that car is really fast and does drag racing really, really well. And it's simple, and it's a new edge. And the fact that I also have the 01 Cobra, whenever that comes back, which has a fully built motor, and that car is gonna be so much fun. So I was okay with getting rid of the Cobra because I've had so many new edges. I can't even count off the top of my head, I mean, how many I have had. I guess I'll throw up some pictures here and try to run through the list, because I had the 2000 GT, the 2001 Cobra, the 03 Cobra Terminator, Turdzilla 99 GT, we'll skip to the 01 Cobra, and the Bullet, which you guys all know. I also had Matt's car that I bought, which I actually had for like 2 months before I gave it to him. I had the True Blue 01 GT. I had the brown car, that's 9. Yeah, that's 9. And then if we want to count Mustangs in general, GT500 and S550, that's 11. So a lot of cars, but I just had so many new edges, and I was kind of okay with getting rid of one for something different, like a GT500. S197 platform's way different. It's different than anything I've ever done before. New edges, I mean, I could do anything. I knew how to do everything. I mean, I knew everything, which is cool, but it's kind of boring after a while. So it's cool learning about a different platform and learning more things about it. The GT500, in terms of creature comforts, not that that's a huge deal because I don't drive the car every day. I mean, the seats are more comfortable. Sound-wise, everything about it is just really nice. Sound system's nice. So all of that and the interior side of things are just beautiful in the GT500. The other thing is the GT500, while the rods are weaker, and they aren't manly rods, and manly rods are one of the main things that set the Terminator apart, is that it had these rods that are capable of over 1,000 wheel horsepower. The thing I don't see a lot of people talking about is that the Cobra has weaker pistons. Well, I don't know if weaker pistons than the GT500, but they're not that strong. That's the weak link. So while the rods are good for 1,000 wheel, the crank's good for 1,000 wheel, the pistons are really not all that strong. So, I mean, the thing is, if you are putting a turbo on an 03 Cobra, a stock bottom end, you can really push that thing. But with a supercharger, it is very difficult to push that bottom end past about 750, 800 wheel. 800 wheel with headwork and cams, but it's very, very difficult. So that is kind of why I got rid of it, is because I didn't want to do a motor build at the time. Rods are very good. In fact, I would actually consider buying a set of used Terminator rods, a used Cobra crank, and some forged pistons, slap that in the Bullet, and I have a bottom end good for probably close to 1,000 wheel. So the bottom end in the Cobra is very stout, especially for the year. Now, the GT500, it is said that the weak point is the rods. However, weak point is kind of relative. A 700, 750 wheel horsepower range on a GT500 is actually considered fairly safe. Now, I do plan to push that envelope a bit. I don't want to chuck a rod through the side of the block, because the 5.8 liter block in the GT500 costs $5,000 without any components in it. I do plan to build the motor, but I think, and I've talked with Justin of VMP a little bit, I think that if I go ahead and I'm going to do the long tube headers on it. I'm going to do, and that's going to put it just over 700. I'm going to do a fuel system, obviously, and then I'm going to do the VMP Gen 3 and the cams. What that's going to do is actually kind of make it a little bit softer on the hit and making the horsepower up top. Most of the times when those blow, the rods are just taking way too much torque from the hit down low. And by a little bit of torque out, I mean, I'm not going to be talking about coyote torque. It's still going to be pretty high. But you take a little bit of torque out down low, a little bit of horsepower down low, and move it up top, and it's less likely to break the rods. It's still a possibility. It still could happen. But my plan is to push somewhere on the lower end of 800 wheel on the like normal setup, but up to probably 850 or 900 wheel on the stock motor with the cams and everything. So I'm really excited for that. Now, the question is, how long will it last? I don't know, but I do plan to do a built motor, hopefully before a rod goes through the side of the block. But in terms of business-wise, the GT500 content does significantly well. It helps pay for things. I can work with a lot of different companies on doing these different mods on the GT500 because it is a newer platform. So I hope this video has some sort of structure. I'm driving right now, but I hope that answers some questions. I don't regret it. It was weird seeing it the other day, but it was pretty much like I knew it wasn't my car anymore, so not really too big of a deal. And I was ready to move on. I got a lot of parts out of it. I got my Mantic clutch out of it, which is going in the GT500. I got the fuel system out of it, which is going to go in the Bullet. I got the injectors out of it, which will go in the GT500 and then the Bullet later on. So really, I mean, it was tough to see it go, but it wasn't at all, because the GT500 is just, it's a very different car than what I have dealt with for the past 7 years, I guess. Is that how long I've had Mustangs? Something like that. It's just different. It's a different build. I can do different suspension. It's just a really, really fun car. And the fact that I've done just a few mods and it's about as fast as the other car was, with E85, a blower swap, a fuel system, long tube headers. I mean, that car had everything thrown at it. The GT500 has a pulley, a tune, a cold air, a throttle body, and it's on 93 octane. The Cobra required a lot more to get there. So, you know, I definitely think that's really cool. And I just want something different, something that looks a little bit different. Now, I do still love the new Edge platform, but, and I think the S550 might actually be my favorite platform. It's just, I went with a GT500 because it made business sense, and it's a car that I've always wanted to own. So anyways, I hope that wraps up this video for you guys. If you have any questions whatsoever, just leave them down in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't already, pick up some Mustang Lifestyle key tags. I'm actually bringing Jerry one of these when we're going to pick up this MT82. He's actually giving me it for free. He said just bring a key tag. So we got one for Jerry. So we're just rolling up there. Anyways, I might film some clips, I might not. But if I don't, you guys are seeing this right now. Slap the like button, leave a comment. For those who don't normally comment, why don't you leave a comment and subscribe if you are new, and we will see you guys next time.